Welcome to Of Stardust and Earth. Be humble. You're made of earth. Be noble. You're made of the stars. I'm Jen Brown, and this is a safe space for intimate, raw conversations about sexuality, creativity, self-expression, spirituality, really everything that lights my soul on fire. So I invite you to journey with me and the beautiful friends I meet around the globe, diving into provocative explorations about love, life, and being your most radiant self.
Is it filming? Yay!
Yay! Hello.
Hi. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Me too. I'm ready.
For everybody who doesn't know, this is the infamously amazing Liv, who is the owner and founder of Madhouse, which is also my second home.
Oh.
I would literally sleep here if I could so that I wouldn't miss the next class. That's like my addiction level.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so inspired by you and in awe of what you've created. And I know that it's not just for me. Like, this community of women is so powerful and strong, and everybody that I meet tells me that this has literally changed their lives. So yeah, that's like such a testament to you, your courage and your vision and your perseverance and your energy and your fun. And yeah, I just am like so in awe of you and I adore you. So
Oh, thank you so much. I swear, like, every time we get together and chat, it's like somehow at the times when I need it most, you just give me so much energy, and also just like, I just feel like a soul recognizing a soul in like their own power and their own purpose. So Thank you for the kind words, because it's been a rough month, you know, like Madhouse it's changed my life. It changes so many lives. It's my passion. It's what I want to do for the rest of my life in some capacity. And the other side of that coin is that it's a business, and the businesses have ups and downs, and I have to make changes, and I have to do this and that. And so it's been a big month of making changes and doing things, and it's hard to stay so, I guess, positive all the time. You know what I mean? Or it can feel like I'm burning out, or like I'm working so hard, and then someone says something that reminds me why I do it all. So like that, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Or someone comes in and shares their story with me, and like they start crying and I start crying, and I'm like, thank you. Like, not thank you for crying, but like, thank you for sharing this with me, because I don't know, maybe it seems like a given that that's what Madhouse is, but it's not. I forget it all the time. And I'm like, why am I even doing this? Like, this is so much work. And and then I teach one class and I'm like, that's why I'm doing it. Like, as soon as I start dancing, I remember. And so it's nice to have the product itself, the classes themselves are the medicine to like everything in my life. And so like, even if I'm doing all the work stuff and I'm feeling bogged down and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to teach this class? Like, I can't do it. And then I go and I'm like, an hour later, thank God, like I feel so much better, you know?
It's such a metaphor for life, I feel, right? Because like you have this big picture that it requires so much daily maintenance and energy and investment of all of your resources. Like, I see you invest all of your resources, emotionally, physically, financially, mentally, all of it, right? And at the same time, it's like, for that joy and for those breakthrough moments, it's like, that's what we're doing here. That's what the fuck we're doing, right? But it requires so much stamina. And that's why I'm so in awe that you're able to continue to evolve with it. And even when it's like super challenging, find a way, which I hope continues, because even from the perspective, I was thinking about this on the way down here. I was like, I really want to talk to you about the different ways that I see that it has been impactful and changed my life, and ask you about that for your own, because I feel I was thinking about it like on a personal level, how it's changed like my relationship to my body, how it's changed my relationship to like my feeling of how I just show up in the world, it's also really changed my concept of sisterhood. It's been super impactful to have a space that is so energizing and welcome for women to be able to come together in ways that I think a lot of women don't experience growing up at all. And then it's also really dynamically changed my relationship and that way to show up with like the other person in your life that you maybe have a sexual or sensual relationship with as well, and ways that you communicate, the ways that you're able to be embodied. And so it was really neat. I was just thinking about those different pieces, and like for me, I mean that kind of makes up like most of my world, you know, like that relationship to self and to our friends, and then to the romantic relationships in our life.
Oh, I love it. Yes, I want to hear it all.
So I was kind of curious, like, okay, so then I think about for myself, and I was curious, like, do you feel that and see that reflection for you?
Oh,
like,
yes.
Through doing this too.
100%. Well, the first thing you mentioned was your relationship with your body, right?
Yeah.
And that has to be the core of everything for me, because when I changed that, I think everything else changed for the better.
What would you say was your relationship like prior to starting to do, like, because I know you were teaching in the park and everything during COVID, and then
really volatile and really unhappy with my body, with like my health. I grew up running cross country in high school, and I remember freshman year I was like one of the fastest girls and did super well, and the pressure and perfectionism of that got to me, and I really self-sabotaged. I also started to like fill out a little bit more and get like hips, and I don't know, it was a combination of all this stuff, and I was just slower, and that like mentally took a hard toll on me, and I started to develop like essentially disordered eating. Like I would binge and not really know why. Like I didn't really understand why I was doing it, but I grew up surrounded by, love you, mom, and she knows this, we've had this conversation, but surrounded by a mom and a nana who talked nonstop about dieting, about wanting to lose weight. I remember like opening cabinets and seeing like rules, don't eat after this time, eat this, eat that, and like just so regimented. And it's not their fault. I mean, like as women, we grew up with this
part
just
of the whole culture.
Exactly, just like drilled into us, like be skinnier, lose this weight, get a six pack, like do this, do that. And how are you supposed to avoid that? Like you can't. And so when my body started to change and I wasn't like this skinny ninth grader anymore. And by the way, looking back at high school, I'm still skinny. Like I'm like
ridiculous
but the mental is like I'm not. You know what I mean? And so it is just this like body, what is it called? Dysmorphia. And disordered eating. And never so bad. Like I was never anorexic or like needed to be hospitalized, but I would binge and I would struggle with that and I would gain weight, and then I would like, you know, do a juice cleanse for 3 days and try to lose weight really fast. Like just like stuff like that. And
I'm familiar with all of this.
Yes. Great. So that is like, but actually going back even further, I remember being in, I don't know, a kid, like maybe 4 or 5 years old, and looking at my belly. It's, first of all, it's a kid baby belly. Like kids have little bellies. And I just remember looking at that and being like, I'm fat.
Yep.
Like I remember looking at my older cousin who's 5 years older than me, and she was tall and skinny. And I was like, oh my God, I don't look like that. And I would look down and I couldn't see my toes, and I'd be like, I'm fat.
Yeah.
And just like have that horrible like association, and like, what, you're a child, you know what I mean? It's just like, why are you even thinking about that? So it's deep rooted. And I'll give you one other example before I move into how it's like healed. But I remember being at a Britney Spears concert when I was, again, maybe like 4 years old.
Yeah.
And looking at her and how skinny she was. And I remember thinking her belly button was so elongated. I think it was she just had a belly button ring, but I didn't know that as a kid. And I remember being like, oh my God, she's so skinny that her belly button like stretches out. Mine doesn't do that. Like what the heck? And it's like all these things that we internalize that aren't even right, like aren't even true, but we're kids. We don't know that. Know. And all of that just compounded over years, decades of like feeling like shit about myself just caught up to me. And like there wouldn't be a day where I didn't think about what I was eating or that I wanted to lose weight. Every single day I was thinking, what am I eating lunch, breakfast, dinner, and why am I not losing weight, or how am I going to lose weight? Like it was a constant.
Yep. That occupies
and it's like
so
raising my
much brain space, so much real estate inside of us
completely. Too. It's raising my heart rate right now, just like thinking about how trapped I was in that. And like, so fast forwarding to eventually, and I think dance helped me do this, I was just like, I don't want to think about this anymore. I don't care. If my body stays like this for the rest of my life, then whatever, I'm done thinking about this. And that's like way easier said than done, right? Because it's really hard to just get out of that trap. But when you pair it with dancing and starting to just move and have fun and move for the sake of just moving and dancing, and then exercise became so joyful and not a task and not something that I was doing to punish myself or something that I was doing to reach a certain end result. I was literally just doing it to have fun, be present in the moment. And it didn't even start out, my classes weren't even sexual at first. I mean, maybe a little bit of like booty shaking and stuff, but like, it wasn't meant to be this like whole feminine embodiment practice. It was literally just me wanting to work out in a fun way and like have fun, because I've always loved dancing. And that definitely started the shift. And then I eventually was like, I'm dancing every weekend. I'm teaching these classes. I'm healthy enough. Like, who cares? And like didn't start to think about it. And then of course, as I started to teach more and more classes, and like the confidence aspect started to work into more. Once I got this studio, we had Red Room classes, which were more like empowering yourself physically, sexually, like empowering yourself with other women. And like the mental shift definitely happened first, because I was having so much fun and I started to love myself so deeply. And then all of a sudden, like this physical change happened where I'm suddenly in like the best shape I've ever been in, like better than when I was running cross country in high school, because I'm just dancing like 5 days a week and like having so much fun.
Dance for a female body is literally the best possible thing that you can do to get it in the best shape. Like there isn't another kind of like weight training and yoga and like all the things. They're great, but they're so masculine. And there's something about dance that just like enhances your curves and like tightens the right places. And it just like really, it envelops you in this way that I feel like is so important for us. And maybe because it also like ignites that primal part inside of us too, that is meant to express and to move our hips and to be sensual, you know?
100%. Yeah, it's like a freeing type of movement. Like, yeah, all those forms of exercise are great. I've been now going to the gym like once a week to do some lifting or like do something to strengthen or build muscle more. But there will never be another time in my life like where I stop dancing. Like I will never not be dancing. And to your point, like the movement is so feminine. Even if you're not like dancing in a feminine way, it's still just the act of like flowing and the freedom of expression itself is like a feminine practice versus, if you're like boxing or whatever. And like, don't get me wrong, those workouts are super fun, but I just couldn't stick with it at all. Like it was not my thing. And twerking was.
Oh my God. I feel like twerking is just so spiritual. It's so good. I mean, on every single level. I relate to you so much because I actually grew up dancing. But because I was doing so much ballet and like really structured things, and then I also started modeling young, I really was like getting so much. I mean, I was always tall and slim, but when I got really skinny, I got so much validation. And so it sent me into this spiral of like, I need to be this. I need to be like the smallest person in the room in order to like be worthy, you know, and those intrusive thoughts that you're talking about and everything. And even then, like, I went through kind of like a first spiritual awakening when I was like early, like 19, 20. I did a yoga teacher training and I got really into that, which is so beautiful. And it's really helped me through different parts of my life. But I recently realized, like, when I dance, it's igniting this life force in me. And when I was doing yoga, it was still kind of like in this very structured and trying to be like the smallest version of myself. And something that I've really noticed since I've been coming here for like the past year, I like want to be more voluptuous. I want to be more womanly. I see the women in the class who are just so sexy and just, you can feel this like vibrant energy. And I'm like, that's what I want. I don't want to be like starved and skinny and like devoid of life, because I would like not eat and then I would have no energy for anything either. And how can you like really show up in the world as like your radiant, vibrant self when you're not nourishing yourself? And so I feel like it gave me permission to nourish myself, and then also to like see myself in this way of like, instead of needing to be so tiny, being like, oh, I love that I've got like a juicy ass from all the twerking, and you know, like it's great.
100%. And it also changes, it like flips the script once you're focused not on being small and being skinny, but focused on how do I shake my butt in the mirror? Because guess what? To shake your butt, like you do need a little bit more on your body to be able to shake it. And like it switches from how small and tight and confined can you be in your super like slimming, constricting activewear set to how about let's wear the loosest booty shorts we can find so that our butt shakes more, and you celebrate the jiggle of your body, because guess what? The more it jiggles, the better it looks when you're twerking. And it's just like so empowering to completely have the opposite goal of before. And to your point, like all the different body shapes in class, I'm like, oh my God, you guys are all so hot, so sexy. Like I'm completely mesmerized.
They're incredible.
Yes.
Like I do like lots of goddess shoots and embodiment shoots, and I like really love to celebrate the female form and spirit. But really like coming into class and seeing like all shapes and sizes and ages and colors and everything, you're just like, wow, women are phenomenal, you know? And then it makes you feel like proud and excited to be a part of that too, because you're like, oh, well, if all of them are beautiful, then maybe I am too. You know, maybe it's okay that like I'm uniquely me.
100%. And it is. And also I just want to hype you up, because with all the shoots you do, and like I did a goddess shoot with you, and it's nerve-wracking if you've never been like naked in public before. And you were so like, you hyped me up in a way that made me feel so safe and confident and beautiful, because even if you're like, you know, confident in yourself to a certain point, like there's still aspects of myself where I'm like, does my labia look weird? Like, does this look weird? Do my areolas look weird? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, is this normal? Is it not normal? I don't know.
Especially because of stuff that isn't necessarily like shown very often, right? Yeah, you're just not in that situation.
But like having someone who is just so like the woman's body is just beautiful, period. And it's not like every single one is different in different ways. Like it was just amazing. I was even on my period when we did that shoot. We have pictures with my tampon string hanging out. Like I was like, wow, this is a different type of shoot experience.
Yeah, it's like for me, it's a ceremony, and it's about being able to actually embrace all those parts of you and be with somebody that you trust. Like my intention is to uplift you and have you see how beautiful I see you. So I think that energy too of like somebody that is there, that's just like witnessing your beauty and really like looking to capture that in the most spectacular way, versus like when I was modeling and then when I used to do wardrobe styling and stuff and worked with a lot of male photographers, it was really from such a different perspective. It was like very objectified. It was really about like, how can I make you look the most perfect versus like, how can I help you feel free to be yourself? Because when you're in that true like sparkly radiance, every picture is going to be stunning. And that was like the experience I think that we had, is then like you can see yourself in a new way where you're like, I wouldn't have thought that I would like how I look this way, and I'm beautiful, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you're a goddess.
Oh,
you are. I was
I felt like one. You truly made me feel like one. And like, I was just mind blown, especially looking at the photos, because you feel like, I felt like I was art looking at those photos. And I'm like, I want to frame that.
Yes.
And just put it on my wall. And nobody will know it's me because it's like a silhouette or whatever. But like, I just feel like that was such a cool experience. And I did feel so free. So you really accomplished your mission with that.
Well, it's so interesting. That's another thing I was thinking on the way down, is how what we're doing is actually so similar. But when we do it like with the photo shoot, there's a little bit more of like, because it's a big deal. You're putting all this effort into it, right? And then what you're doing with the classes is you're reinforcing that same kind of circuitry every single day. And I think that they're both so important together, because you have these like dramatic experiences that can help you have like a paradigm shift, and then you have a daily practice that can remind you. And I think like when I come into dance class, it doesn't matter like how I was feeling before I stepped in the door. All of a sudden, I remember who I am. And then I come out and I feel like I can do anything, you know?
100%.
And I think that that's what is so unbelievable about this, is like, it is like a 1 hour shot of like remembrance and joy and confidence and excitement and everything. So, okay, so self, like we've talked about, like I feel like, yeah, even if that was the only thing that these classes were doing for me, I'd be like, this is more than worth it for me to be here as many times a day as I can. Then like for the sisterhood piece, you know, and like we were even just talking about all the different women's bodies. I don't know about you, but like I had a challenge having like a lot of close girlfriends when I grew up. I'm like now in the season of my life where I have like the best girlfriends I've ever had. And it's so cool, because I kind of think it was because I kind of like thought I wasn't good enough, or like they were cooler than me, or they were better than me, or just had trouble like fully being me. But I feel like that's something I see here, is that energy of women supporting women, it actually changes the way that then they interact outside of the classroom as well. So I don't know if that's something that you've noticed or experienced. But
Definitely. I think that's really cool to hear from you, like based on your experience of struggling to like find girlfriends maybe growing up. And it's amazing how many friendships have formed because of Madhouse. Like I literally see like full friend groups, book clubs, like all these things that have formed from just classes at Madhouse. Like these people didn't know each other before. And sometimes when I think of that, I'm like if that was all I did and like everything shut down right now, okay, I created like hundreds of friendships. Like that is so rewarding in itself. But yeah, I think something about showing up, all women, like there's no, again, I think just because of the culture here, like there's no need to perform. So there's no competition, in my opinion. This is at least what I go for, like the goal. And so I think this is what resonates. And everyone's just here to like have a good time. And I love women. Like I always have. I've never really connected with men. I mean, obviously I have my boyfriend now. I love him. I have my brothers. And I had some like guy friends in high school, but like other than like my boyfriend's friends, like I don't have guy friends. Like I just have always connected with women and been scared of men personally. Like
which
that's just my experience.
And why you're able to easily cultivate this kind of environment.
I think so. Like it feels like it's not even something I like had to try to do, but it just like is part of who I am. And that I'm glad that that shows in what the classes are, and that now people who didn't grow up with the same experience as me of like just more gravitating toward girls in general, or like finding good girlfriends, can come in and find those girlfriends more easily. Like that. Because I just think girlfriends are like the most important thing we can have.
Seriously.
It's everything. a support system.
Like, having those, even if you have a romantic relationship that you're really devoted to, like, I feel like this shift has happened for me where I look at these other primary relationships in my life and I'm like, they're also like my life partners in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? They're people that I am like traveling through like the wildness of life with
100%.
and able to like really be my true self with them, and to be able to have that in other women and not feel this sense of competition, like you said. I think that was another piece of it for me, is there kind of always was like a little bit of like a feeling of jealousy or competition or something that I would feel towards me. And I don't feel any of that here. You know, it's like, there's nothing like too when we do like the film classes and we're dancing and you hear the whole room of girls just screaming for you. It's literally like the best feeling in the whole world. Like, I can't get enough of that. It just feels so good to be seen by other women and to be like that, them saying like more rather than you wanting you to
give me
less.
more, like
Give me
don't
more.
do less, be
Exactly.
bigger, do more.
Yeah,
it's the hype and excitement. And jealousy is so interesting because jealousy is a reflection of something that we want, right? Like, we see someone, we're jealous of them. It's because they have something that you want that you don't have. And I think in a dance setting, it's hard to be jealous because you watch someone perform and do their thing and it's like, oh my gosh, that's incredible, mesmerizing. I'm absolutely like hypnotized by you. And I want to be able to do that. And it's like, guess what? I'm in the place where I can do that. I'm going to get up and give it my all, just like you gave it your all. And everyone is celebrated for giving it their all rather than like laughed at or looked down upon or like you're trying too hard. Like, I think in a dance setting, there's no such thing as trying too hard, you know? Like,
I love that.
Like, that's what I'm really big on, is like when I'm in class, like I'm going insane. I mean, you've seen it. Like, I'm going 100% energy all the time. Even in a choreo class, I'm going 100% all the time because if I want to, like, you know, at the end of class, perform the dance that way, I want to perform it that way the whole time. But I think that everything that you see is celebrated in a dance class versus getting jealous of, you know? It's interesting.
Yeah, I love that. Even what you said about practicing, like going hard and doing, like going full out. Like, that's a concept that I think about a lot in my life is like, how can I live full out? Because there's like these different levels of engagement. And when you keep yourself from actually like going wholeheartedly into things, there's actually this energy that then will keep you smaller, that will not bring you the luck. And when you go full out into something, then everything in the universe rises to help you to achieve it. And so you practice that in the dance room, like just put it all out there. Don't be afraid. And then it helps you, I think, to take courageous action in life as well. Because you're like, oh, that was scary, but I didn't die. Like, I survived that, and it was actually really fun. Even like, I get nervous before everything that is important to me. Like, I get nervous before my photo shoots because I care so deeply and I want to do a really amazing job for everybody. I get nervous before doing these podcasts, you know? And it's like, that doesn't have to be something then that keeps you from doing it. It's actually like a sign that you care so much and it's so important to you. And that's even more reason to put your whole heart into it.
100%.
You know? Even like getting up for the filmed classes, which can be so intimidating. And I've definitely had moments when I'm up there and my mind just literally, everything flies out of my brain. And I'm like, fuck, I have no idea what I'm doing. But the act of like having a place that's safe to continue practicing that, I see directly like moving into other areas of my life as well. Where I'm like, well, I could do it there. Why not?
Totally. Like, and I think that even me, I've taught literally over 1,000 of these classes. I get nervous before every single one. I'm like rehearsing my choreo, like, oh my God, what if I mess up? And there are some times where I do mess up and I just like laugh about it. And it's so funny because I remember back at the beginning of when I first started Madhouse, I was such a perfectionist. I had such a fear of feedback, of failure, of messing up. And I remember in my training workbook for instructors, I had this whole section on like making mistakes about like, you know, if you make a mistake in your choreography, like, here's how you should handle it, here's what you should do, like, blah, blah, blah. Just like so, and looking back, it's just so unnecessary because if you make a mistake, just keep going. Like, that's really all it is. Just keep going. It's like one sentence, period, full stop. Versus like, I felt the need to so overcomplicate it and be like, okay, well, try to not let them think you made a mistake and pretend like that was what you were actually trying to do. Like, it's actually crazy the way my mind has shifted then, because you're gonna make mistakes as an instructor, as a human in general, just in life. And you're gonna be nervous before you get up, before anything. Before I teach any class, before I get up and do a filmed choreography class, like, I'm always nervous. And I think the key is the more you do it, you get a little less nervous each time. But I don't think you ever go down to zero nerves, ever. I don't think.
Because then you probably just wouldn't even care.
Yeah,
if that was
exactly.
the case, then like, why are you doing it?
Yeah, 100%.
It's funny because, you know, Megan, who's my best friend, we always will say, choreo schmoreo. Basically, that just means, like, you know, obviously you're trying really hard, you're learning it, but once you get up there to perform it, like, fuck it. If it flies out of your brain, keep moving your body, have fun. Nobody knows, nobody cares.
Yep.
Like,
if anything, people probably are like, oh, that makes me feel so much better about going after you. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for, like, giving me the freedom to remember that I don't have to remember every single thing, because you maybe got up there and forgot a step and you kept going and smiling and laughing, and like, it doesn't have to be this whole thing.
Which again is like why it's such a good rehearsal for other things in life. Like, even too, being able to freestyle afterwards. Like, I think that can be so scary.
That's something I still struggle with.
Yeah, because you're on the spot and you're supposed to just like come up with things, you know? But it's like this energy that you get to practice of being in the moment. It's kind of like a meditation. Like, instead of already having it all planned out, instead of knowing where you're going, can you allow yourself to be seen in this moment of just pure you, of pure energy? And I think that that's something that's really cool to practice for life as well.
Absolutely.
Can you improvise when, you know, things shift and change and still show up as yourself? So, yeah, it's like so many things.
It's very symbolic. Like, you can take a dance class and blow it up into life, and it kind of works as a metaphor, you know?
Everything. Okay, so next, like, last thing that I was thinking about with the relationships.
Yeah.
And now that I'm back in a relationship too, I'm really noticing this.
I love this. I could talk about this all day.
I'm really thinking about the energy, though, how different that I feel like I show up now in relationship, in sex, but also just in like communication in life. Like, that confidence that I have in my own body and the attunement and sensitivity, the way that I feel like that then translates to being able to connect with another human. Because really, like, we can only be as intimate with someone else as we're as intimate with ourselves. Right? So I feel like this has been one of the biggest gifts for me, is developing a deeper intimacy where I know and I trust myself. And I'm able to, even in class, when you're like, don't be afraid to touch yourself, like, look at yourself in the eyes, you know, notice what you find beautiful. Just being able to be in that moment without judging all the little pieces, not looking from the outside in, just feeling it from the inside out. I think that then when you bring another person into that dynamic and you're able to show up that way, it actually really transforms the way that they're able to be with you too. And so I've felt like the more embodied that I am in myself, the deeper things are getting in like this really beautiful and natural way that I'm not having to think about or force.
100%. Wait, I love this. And you said everything so perfectly, but I'm also kind of surprised, because I feel like a lot of the times women that get that result of like, oh my gosh, I'm like connecting with myself and my partner in a different way because I'm just more embodied and more confident. I'm like, yeah, that's the key. But you, to me, already seem like someone who is so embodied and confident, and like, you are, you know, you do yoga and tantra and you go to Burning Man. Like, to me, that's just someone who is already so empowered in their sexuality. But are you saying to you, like, this dance, like, took it to the next level for you?
Absolutely.
Really?
100%.
Wow.
And I think that it's like a constant evolution, because the thing that most people don't know is that I started off very shy when I was young. And I was like a very late bloomer as well. And I didn't have a boyfriend until much later. Really, like, my kid's dad was like my first like serious boyfriend. And then we were just buried in together and everything, and like growing up and as kids and like learning things. And so I feel all these layers are continually being unlocked. And I do think that there is a huge shift that has happened for me, where I went from like really seeing connection, like intimate connection with somebody, like as more performative or more like attentive to what they would like or want, to bringing that sensuality back into myself. And I think that doing things like this, it helps you to notice and know what's actually pleasurable in your own body. And not that you don't care then about what the other person wants or thinks or feels, but it's so much more of a turn on actually for somebody else to see somebody that is actually like in their own joy.
Yeah.
Right? That's mesmerizing. It's delicious.
Yeah.
And so if you can bring yourself back to that place of actually like, what feels so good to me, and like almost like inviting that person into that world, then it just blows the ceiling off of things, I feel. 100%. That's what I've been experiencing.
Okay, wow. All right. I love the layers element. Like, there's always a new layer to be peeled back. And thank you for sharing that perspective. And yes, I feel like what these classes do is they let you explore your sexuality by yourself and not in the context of someone else. That's the biggest piece for me, I think, is that you don't need someone else to be sexual. Like, sorry, but you don't. And it's kind of taboo. Actually. It's a little bit like, yeah, you can masturbate, you can touch yourself, whatever. You can also dance and twerk and grind and feel your body and all these things that are expressions of your sexuality, and you can do it by yourself and you don't need anyone else to do it. And that's a freedom that's unlocked. Like, I started these classes when I was single, and like I needed this outlet essentially. Like, I wasn't having sex and I'm like, honestly, kind of horny all the time. And like, I just need like something to get that energy out, like an outlet for it, because I am a really sexual person and I always have been. And I think that we're like shamed as women to be like sexual or be like pretty sexual for being a woman. Like, I know that people's, you know, there are women that aren't as sexual, there are women that are, and I just happen to be one that is. And
but I feel
people
like
don't talk about that.
They're like, be like this like perfect, like prim, and then in the bedroom somehow you're supposed to magically morph into like a total sex goddess. But without any like teaching or understanding, how are you supposed to go from, I mean, so it sounds like we were kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum, where I was like so like closed and, you know, trying to be like perfect. And then all of a sudden I'm like with a partner and I'm like, I don't even know what to do with myself. Yeah. And then for you, you know, you're like, I feel comfortable in this environment, but like, how am I supposed to also show up as whatever the societal thing is? You know?
100%. 100%. Oh shoot, I just had a good thought that you reminded me of, and then I forgot. It might come to me, but it'll come. But what I was gonna say is people just don't talk about what it means to be like a sexual woman in a day-to-day life, because whatever you do behind closed doors, like, we're not talking about that. Like, and then, okay, if I'm supposed to be this like sex goddess in the bedroom, and then what does that mean when I come out? I need to be this like perfect version of whatever a woman is. But the people who transformed that for me, that are probably part of the reason I subconsciously started what I do now, are the Call Her Daddy girls. Did you ever listen to that?
No.
Do you know Call Her Daddy?
No, I need to listen.
Okay, well, right now it's a solo podcast. Alex Cooper, it's like one of the most popular podcasts ever.
Cool.
And I listen to it, you know, sometimes now, but when it first came out, it was two of them, and they were talking about sex in like a raunchy, like almost like a male way. You know what I mean? Like very like, here's how you give a blowjob. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And like the openness, like they took such a risk doing that on such a public platform. And like people I loved it because I was like, thank you. Nobody's telling me how to do this. Nobody has ever told me how to do this successfully. And like, you just have to try and fail until you end up finding it eventually. And I'm like, now I know how to do this. Now I know what I should be doing in certain ways, or like that it's okay to talk about it with people and friends. Like I used to not be able to talk about sex with friends at all. Like I was like, I can't say what happened last night. Like I don't want to tell, you know what I mean? Like just like so much shame and embarrassment. And I think that's what like started that transformation mentally in my head of just seeing other people be open enough to talk about it. And then just starting a business where, okay, now I have to talk about it. You know what I mean? And like, but it's interesting because I'm not talking about it so explicitly because it's never in the context of someone else. It's always in like smack your own ass, like touch your own body. And that then can transfer over to a partnership situation because you feel more confident and empowered. I'm sweating.
I know, it's warm in here. We're talking about sex. That's probably why too. Yeah. Actually, the thought I had when you were talking about this, I was recently having this conversation with a male friend of mine who was talking about how like the rites of passage that would exist for men don't really exist in society. And he was like, I don't know what that would be for women. And what really came to me is like, it used to be like the temple arts, right? It used to be like women actually had an initiation where their mothers, their sisters, like the women would teach them these things and help them to like know about their own bodies and be familiar with like pleasure. And that really doesn't exist. And it's actually the opposite in our culture where it's like very private, very suppressed, shamed. But then, like you said, all of a sudden, then you're supposed to also have this other persona inside of you. And I think that it's really important to have safe spaces like this for women that they can explore different parts of their sexuality, you know? Like it feels so freeing to be in a place where I'm not judged and I'm actually encouraged. And then that makes it so like it made me start questioning everything in, you know, the rest of my life. Like, why do we believe this? Why is it okay for this and not for this, you know? And I mean, most recently, I've really been going down this rabbit hole because, you know, I do the embodiment shoots and I'm like, I really think it's important for people to feel comfortable in their own skin and to not have shame around being in a body. And especially for women, like for our breasts, for example, is a really good example. This is where our heart is. And so many people are very closed here because it's like, you know, say you grew up when you had very voluptuous breasts and then you're sexualized young and you're getting all of this attention and you're supposed to cover up, or say that you're like more flat chested and then you feel like you're being passed over and you don't feel feminine and all these things. This is still your heart center. And I think energetically when we have armor here, it actually closes everything down. And there's a completely different thing when we're able to open that way and to be proud of who we are and what we look like and what we have and not be afraid of our bodies, you know? 100%. I think there's so much fear around our own bodies. I mean, I definitely had like a lot of fear about like, oh, a partner can touch me, but I can't touch myself. Which now I think
makes no sense.
That makes no sense. It's like it belongs to you. It doesn't belong to anybody else. And so, yeah, to just be in spaces like that where you get to explore and practice, like, what does it feel like if I even just like go like this? Like, I mean, like something really small. Like you might have a movement where you're like lick or something. And I can see some people in the class be, oh, you know, like this is definitely not something I've ever done before. And then you're like, wait, why am I so scared of this? You know? So I think that that's why it's really helped me translate it to my romantic relationship in life, is that comfortability and like not feeling that same sense of shame or embarrassment.
Totally. It's also like an exercise too. Like little repetitions make you stronger in that way. And so if you can come to class and maybe you are the type of person that's like, oh, a lick, like, oh my God. But it's like next time you get like a little more yeah, exactly. Like I think when you did this, I'm like, yeah, I do that all the time. And it's just pleasureful. And like in class, I'll be like that, you know what I mean? And it's like, you just get comfortable with doing that. And it makes you more comfortable in a situation with a partner to do stuff like that, like if you want to, you know what I mean? Yes. Like, it's like you try it on in a safe space and get familiar with that motion, that movement, that touch. Mm-hmm. And if you choose to take it in a situation with a partner, then you can, and you've already had some repetitions of that. So it's not like, oh my God, this is going to be so scary if I try to do this right here. You know what I mean? Like, totally. Yeah, it removes the awkwardness because like I've done this a million times in dance class. Like we're good,
You're like,
know?
Check this out.
Check this out. I love that. That's all really well said. And I'm glad that I got your perspective on that because like I said, I just automatically assumed you were already so open. And I mean, you are open, but it's really interesting that dance was able to take it to the next level for you. Yeah. I also love the heart center stuff you just said. I had never thought about like, because we like trap these down so much and like hold these close to our chest and like nobody can see this. Okay, so nobody can see your heart underneath. You know, like I've never thought about it that way, so that's really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a really powerful energetic practice, and I've even done this before when I've been on like women's retreats, and then I've done the embodiment shoots. There was one particular one where we went to a deserted beach and we were doing this like clay thing, and I was like, I'm gonna get everybody topless, and it was women of all ages and sizes and everything, you know, and they were super resistant to me at first. And then once they did it, oh my God, like just seeing the freedom, and everybody was just like laughing and playing, and like it just unlocked something that was so innocent and childlike and joyful. And it was really curious to witness like the way that they even were able to like interact with each other on a deeper level once they were able to like open there is essentially what it was, and like not feel this self-consciousness, you know.
100%.
So yeah, I'm a huge advocate for take your clothes off, get skinny dipping, put model of your body. Actually, okay, so this is the last thing that I was just thinking about that kind of then relates to all this and what you were saying to be about you wouldn't expect that. I feel that there's this huge piece for me of like when you are able to become more embodied, it gives permission to the people around you. And that's something that I've had my own struggles with like social media and showing up in ways, and especially like the photo shoots and everything too. It's like you have this experience and then you do want to share things. And so to what extent each person wants to is very personal, beautiful. But for myself, I think that it's also really important to be courageous in putting myself out there in ways that help other women feel like if they want that's accessible for them as well, you know? And really like breaking down some of these different stereotypes and ideas that we have. I mean, a big thing for me is also being a mom. Like, how can you be a mom? How can you be a professional and also still be a sensual, expressed woman, you know?
Totally.
And our society doesn't really give us very many good examples of how to do that. And for women who are in more of a powerful position to still be in their own erotic power, it's actually quite the opposite. Usually, like if you are a professional or if you want to be taken seriously in any sort of way, heaven forbid that people see this other side of you that is more feminine and womanly. And so even like posting my dance videos, when I started doing that, it was really scary for me. And there will even be some times when I'm like, oh, well, I like went a little over the top on this one. Like, can I really share this? But the feedback that I have gotten has been so overwhelmingly amazing from women. And I have so many friends who are constantly reaching out to me and wanting to come to classes because they see that and they're like, I need that in my life. Mm-hmm. And I think about that with you as well. Like, it also probably has been a leap in some ways to have so much stuff on social media. But if you didn't, how would anybody know? How would they be able to like be inspired to come themselves?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, what's your relationship to that with being seen in that way?
So it's interesting. Like now I'm so used to being on social media in that capacity. My first thought went to like the goddess photo shoot that we just did.
Yeah.
And even myself as someone who, I literally shake my ass on camera and post it to hundreds of thousands of people, that the thought of having like a topless photo of me, I was like, I don't want that on the internet. You know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah,
I need to save something, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, why is that? Like, why do I feel, because I think about it like, okay, one day I want Madhouse to be of a certain size, like maybe, you know, someone like far down the line buys it one day. Like, will anyone actually take me seriously as a business person if they look back and I have these photos, you know, like, there's always that concern. Maybe part of it's valid, maybe part of it isn't, but I think it's always there in some capacity, even for someone like myself who literally like dances sexually for a living. Social media is interesting because I think at the beginning I was like, I don't care, posting it all, balls to the wall, like we're going for it. And that really helped. One interesting thing now is being with my boyfriend, I get nervous about his family seeing things. Not for any, they haven't ever said, they've always been, pretty sure one of the first things Ryan ever showed them of me was like me giving him a lap dance on our partner class. So as far as I know, they're very supportive and they're just very open, supportive people in general. But there's still that like worry in my brain of like, oh my God, is this gonna make them think differently of me that I shouldn't be with their son, you know?
Yes.
And that's my biggest thing that I'm trying to work through right now, honestly, because I mean, we've been in a relationship for 2 years and I still like, I work. So I ended up creating a different Instagram for my dance stuff for me personally. So obviously there's Madhouse, everything goes on there.
Yep.
That's never going to change. I was posting my dance stuff on my personal account and doing both. And I was kind of like, I wouldn't mind separating these, like, because I still want to be able to post all this stuff and for whoever loves the dance stuff and wants to see it. But I also don't necessarily like need, everyone to see it that follows me. Because I know I have people in my life. For example, my brothers, so supportive. They absolutely love me and what I'm doing. But I know for a fact, they've been like, whenever I see you on Instagram, I scroll past. I can't watch this. I'm like, that's so fair. Like, totally. Like, please scroll past. Like, don't. But I'm like, it would be nice if I had this that they could watch and that this account that they don't. You know what I mean? Like my normal photos and personal life and stuff like that. So I'm experimenting with separating it right now. I don't know if I'll do that forever. Maybe I will bring it back all onto one page because I'm already bad at social media. Like 2 is a lot.
It's a lot to manage.
But yeah, I don't know if you ever like get past the concern about what other people think, or maybe you do and I'm just in the middle of that journey right now.
Yeah,
you know, like
I think that's it. We're all just on different parts of our journeys of it. And I think that it's really like this Madonna whore complex that is so deeply embedded in our culture. And it's like women's survival literally depends on, it used to depend on being with a mate and being desirable and chosen and all of these things. And so it could be very dangerous to be seen as other or outside of this box, you know? And I think like that's what's so curious to me is to just keep questioning like my subconscious things as they come up, because I think that it's like totally beautiful. Like there's some people too who are like, this is sacred for me and I just want it for myself. And I'm like, yes. And I totally support that. And it's like really interesting then to notice like, okay, is it because for me? Is it for a partner? Is it for family members? Like what is actually underlying this, you know? And just, I think it's so empowering for myself to keep like rediscovering where do my beliefs originate and do they resonate with me with who I am now? And then I can make a choice that's like actually authentic for me. instead of just driven by either fear or like, yeah, mostly it's fear. Like what will people think? And I think that's exactly why, like, even me posting the dance, I was the opposite as you. I like have naked pictures of me in nature, and I'm like, fuck, I can't post this video.
That is really interesting.
My ass.
Yeah.
Like, what are people gonna think of me?
Yeah, that's really interesting because you literally, yeah, it is the opposite.
It's the opposite, and the fact that that can exist makes you realize it's not the thing.
It's all in here.
It's all in here.
Yeah.
So then that makes me even more want to like dive into those shadowy places of myself. That's something like I love evolving.
I love some shadow work.
Yes.
Girl.
It's my favorite. And to do it, oh, this was the last thing I was thinking about on the way down about what you do and what I love to do with the shoots. It really is being able to like do shadow work, to do things that are scary, but in a really joyful, playful way. And to me, I mean, that is just the sweet spot when you find a way that you're able to actually go deep and like laugh and have a great time and feel so good afterwards as well. Because the stuff we're doing like really is deep.
It is. Like that's well said, because when you're in there, you're so in the present moment, you're almost hypnotized. Like you are looking at yourself in the mirror, and us as instructors are essentially giving you affirmations the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Like we're like, touch yourself, look at yourself, you're hot, you're beautiful. And so you're in this sort of like hypnotic state, you're having fun, you're joyful. That whole combination makes you leave those 50 minutes like a little bit lighter and more, in touch with yourself than you were when you walked in. And I never thought about it as shadow work, but that is kind of what it is. Because I think of shadow work as like, which I also do, which is like getting quiet, meditating, going deep down into your subconscious and like rewiring things. You know what I mean? Like that's how I do shadow work in a certain sense. But I think that paired with the lightness and joy of dancing, like, because getting like the somatics of dancing as well gets it all out.
Yes.
It literally shakes it out of your body. Like,
yes,
that's a really powerful tool.
It's so powerful. And actually with manifestation, when you're able to like feel in your body that life force and that joy, that helps that thing to come into reality even more when you're able to bring that presence into your body. So I think that there is really something to like the movement, the activation that happens inside of you, even like the sexual like life force energy of it, like the letting go of shame, like you said, the shaking out, which like really we hold on to so much shit in our bodies. Yeah. So shaking that all out, the affirmations, also like the group synchronization. There is a lot of research and evidence on like when you're doing something in a group, like, even when you clap in class and everybody claps at the same time, it feels so good in your body. You're just like, oh, this feels so good. Yeah. There's something about that actually amplifies our intelligence and our capacity. So it's like, you think that you're just going in and shaking your ass and having fun, but it truly is this opportunity on a more subconscious level to let go of the stuff that's not working for you and then to rewire new programs that are much more supportive and adaptive for your life.
And to do it like in community with other people at the same time and like sharing that energy. Oh,
yeah.
I love it.
You're brilliant. You're brilliant.
I love you.
Well, this is so much fun.
Oh my God. I love talking about this. And thank God we talked about this today. Like I said, it's been a hard month. I had a hard day yesterday. Like everyone has their days. And when I can just be reminded of why I do things, it just gives me this whole new motivation to like take on the day. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. And I would say to you too, like you have such a community that cares so much. And I know that like, I feel that you hold the weight of a lot of things sometimes. And I'm curious, like, I mean, even if there are ways for the community to like support you in any ways, then I think you should be courageous in putting that out there, because like so many women that this has changed their lives that I know would like want to get involved in whatever way they can to help see it continue to thrive, you know?
Yeah, totally. Okay. I'll think about it.
I love you.
I love you too.